Hi, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm still talking about interpreting, and the specific topic is about simultaneous interpreting. Simultaneous interpreting is a term for immediate oral transference of source language messages into those of target language. Referring to its generic meaning, simultaneous basically means happening or done at the same time as something else. This type of interpreting can be seen, for example, in professional conferences and for the deaf through sign language interpreting. Thus, it can be imagined that the interpreter must sometimes be isolated, so he or she can concentrate on his or her duty. When the interpreter is isolated, there must be transmission equipments provided, so both input in source language and output in target language are appropriately processed prior to the transference. Simultaneous interpreting can also be applied for sign language interpreting, which is commonly known as interpreting for the deaf. In this type of interpreting, the messages are much related to variety of linguistic codes in visual rather than the acoustic medium. According to Pohecker in 2004, beside the main type of simultaneous interpreting, which is carried out with transmission equipment and a soundproof booth isolations of the interpreter, there are some other varieties of simultaneous interpreting, like signing, whisper interpreting, and sight interpreting. For sign language interpreters whose performance in the visual channel leaves little room for activities requiring additional visual attention, note-taking is less of an option, and they work in the short consecutive or typically the simultaneous mode. Whispering interpreting or whispering is undertaken only where the interpreter works right next to one or no more than a couple of listeners. It also can be done by speaking in a low voice. Another special type of simultaneous interpreting is the renditions of a text at sight. It is commonly known as a sight translation. In such a translation, the interpreter's target language text production is simultaneous not with the delivery of the source text, but with real-time or visual receptions of the written source text. Well, after understanding types of simultaneous interpreting, I would also like to explain about types of simultaneous interpreters. There will be many terms used to describe the activities of simultaneous interpreter. Whispering interpreters are simultaneous interpreters who whisper their translation. Usually, they work under circumstances where the listeners are a minority as far as their language is concerned. It can be one person or perhaps just a few. The interpreter will usually work without sound equipment, and he or she will literally whisper his or her translations to his or her listeners. Conversation interpreters can be simultaneous interpreters, but not necessarily. Simultaneous interpreter is needed to translate the interviews. There is time for people to pause during the conversation, and the interpreter may consider using a consecutive interpreting mode. Conference interpreters are, in fact, always simultaneous interpreters. They generally work in interpreters' booths. Simultaneous interpreters provide high-end interpreting services for international conferences. One person speaks and many listen through headphones. Simultaneous interpreters sit in a soundproof booth and interpret in real time. Remember that simultaneous interpreting is highly skilled work requiring many years of experience and subject matter expertise. Well, that's all my explanation about simultaneous interpreting, types of this kind of interpreting, and also descriptions about the interpreters or simultaneous interpreters. I hope you can enhance your knowledge about simultaneous interpreting by watching this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. I hope to see you again in the next video. Bye-bye.